Hey guys, if you're shopping for knives and gear, make sure you check out the description of the video you're watching right now for a link to my Amazon store where I've compiled some of the very best items available, including some of my own personal recommendations. Thanks! What's going on, YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got something a little bit different for you. I haven't done something like this in a while, but given the current situation, I am stuck in the house. So I can do my normal recordings, reviews, things like that, but this knife has been sitting on my table for a while. This is a knife that I used to own and then sold to a buddy that I worked with at the dealership, who still works there. I works in the service drive. And he has, I mean, not destroyed the edge, but he's beat it up to the point where there's a couple of little tiny chips here and there, a couple little marks here and there. There you go, mainly at the top. It doesn't look like it'll be too difficult to sharpen, and it is CPM 154. Which is not a steel that is difficult to sharpen. And I've been looking for an excuse to sharpen a knife again anyway, so we're going to go ahead and put a new edge on this guy. We're going to be using the KME. The different part of it is that I'm going to do it over time lapse. I've never experimented with that. It should be a little bit more enjoyable, a little bit more watchable, considering my old sharpening videos were like 45 minutes to an hour long. I kind of want to avoid that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and put a new edge on this guy. Okay, we are back, and I have achieved a sharp edge. A couple of things I want to clarify. Number one, I'm using a KME sharpening system. That'll be down in the description if you want to pick that up. So that hyperlapse that I used reduced about, that was like 55 to an hour 10 of sharpening. Which is pretty normal. It reduced it to like, what was it, 2 minutes and 30 seconds? So I went back and watched it, and there are periods of time where it looks like I'm only doing upstrokes or only doing downstrokes, and I realized it's because the hyperlapse condensed it so much that you're not, you know when like you see the rim of a car spin really, really fast and it almost looks like it's moving really, really slow? That's kind of what was happening there, but there were up and down strokes. That being said, I am nowhere near a professional at this. I am absolutely a novice. Which is why I wanted to do this part here at the end. This KME makes, like, somebody like me who is really into knives, really into steel, and no, this is not an ad for them. Like, I legitimately, I bought this with my own money, and I just really like it. This system makes, you know, sharpening a knife for a novice like me, it makes it really easy. Now, obviously, it depends on the steel. This was CPM 154, and it's basically the same composition as 154cm. It's just powder formed, which truthfully, there's almost no difference between sharpening this and 154cm. I love those steels. Oh my gosh. One of the best sharpening experiences I've ever had just now. It was absolutely wonderful. Now, the reason I'm telling you I'm not a professional is because, you know, there are little things that, like I caught the area down here a little bit, and there's some little, I'll show you guys the edge in a sec. There were some things that, you know, a novice would do. I'm not a professional. I don't do this all the time. This knife is beat on. It is beat on so hard where my buddy Steve works, and basically all he wanted was a sharpened edge. He really wasn't concerned with little tiny marks in the DLC or anything like that. As you can see, this knife is not babied. It is absolutely beat on. You can see places where he's actually dropped it and things like that. So really he was just concerned with a sharp edge. Just to let you guys know, I started with a 50 grit to kind of knock out those chips. This is not something that comes with the system. This is something you have to buy extra. I'll leave a link for that. Then I moved up to a 100 grit, and that's also, I believe, not something that comes with the system. I'll leave a link down there anyway. This is the first one it comes with. It's actually the one that I skipped because of how responsive this CPM 154 seemed to be. 140 grit, I normally move to that. So I actually went from 100 to 300, which also comes with the system. And then I went up to 600, which also comes with the system. And I can't remember if this comes with it or not. I'll leave a link for it anyway. And then I moved up to the 1500. I didn't use any of the lapping things. I wasn't going for a mirror edge. I know there's a lot more that I can do to really perfect the edge, but he's going to be beating on this. For anybody wondering, the angle, I believe it was about 22 degrees. I did not use an angle square. I just used the guide up here. But yeah, about 22 degrees per side. And then what you didn't see me do is using that strop right there towards the end. But let me show you the edge here, how it came out. See if I can get nice and up close and just kind of show you guys how this ended up. I'm actually really excited about this. This is, you know, as a novice, this is one of the better edges that I've done. You know, it's not a mirror edge, but I did get all the little nicks and rolls out of there. There are ways to prevent these. These are marks that are a part of sharpening. For anybody who's new like me, there's a way to prevent that, but we weren't concerned with that this time around. But yeah, as you can see there, this area up here, we got that all the way down. And I managed to not completely around the tip. I caught it a little bit, but we did okay. This area down here, that's the area that I need to work on kind of avoiding. But like I said, he doesn't care. So let's go ahead and slice a piece of paper with it. Make sure that we got this right. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. I'm happy with that. Steve, if you're watching, your knife is ready to go. Go ahead and beat the tar out of it, and I'll do this again. No, I do not offer a sharpening service. I do not offer a sharpening service through this channel. I don't have time to do that. And truthfully, you probably don't want me sharpening your knives. I record a lot. I do a lot of content. I just like to sharpen on the side every now and then. Yeah, it's just for your entertainment. But anyways, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like. Like I said, all this stuff will be linked down in the description so you can pick it up for yourself if you want. It is very therapeutic. If you've never sharpened a knife before, it's really fun. It's kind of, you got to put a little work into it, but it is very therapeutic, and I very much enjoy it. Yeah, anyways, if you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on this Metal Complex logo right here and subscribe, because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.